I'm Mayor Ralph Becker, and I appreciate all of you joining me on this lovely afternoon. We have a little hiatus there. Hello. So thank you for being here, and let me first start by just recognizing some of the folks who are here with me. From our Salt Lake City Police Department Explorers Youth Program, Sala Efton, Columba Gonzalez, please excuse me if I mess up any of all of these names, Angela Finau, and Jackie Robb. So thank you for our explorers. They've been at us and really play a great role for us with our police department, fire department. Also, we have to my right and left, Chief Mike Brown and Brian Dale of the Police Department and Fire Department. We have our Salt Lake City Refugee Community Liaison, Chelsea Eddy, over here. And we have our Congolese Community Resource Specialist from the state's Refugee Services Office, Antoinette, and I'm going to do my best on this last name, Uwan Iogura. Is that close? Okay, all right. Thank you. I'm going to call you Antoinette, if that's all right. As the makeup of our city council becomes increasingly diverse, it's our obligation to work to ensure that our city is a welcoming and inclusive place for all of our residents, and especially for our new Americans who have chosen our city as a place to call home. Currently, 17% of Salt Lake City's population is made up of foreign-born persons, and that's a number that is likely to continue to grow. The most successful communities of the 21st century will be those that recognize diversity in immigration as an advantage to be leveraged rather than a problem to be solved. In today's global economy, attracting and retaining the right workforce and talent means welcoming new Americans who are starting businesses, participating in civic life, and helping to build a stronger community. To demonstrate our city's commitment to celebrating and supporting diversity, this spring, Salt Lake City joined 58 other cities and counties across the country as part of Welcoming America's Welcoming Cities and Counties initiative. We will be continuing to welcome immigrants and refugees and work hard to ensure that they are able to participate civically, linguistically, and economically to their fullest potential, ensuring that our community takes full advantage of our most important resource, our diverse and dynamic population. As a member of the Welcoming Cities and Counties, I pledge that Salt Lake City will continue to adopt policies and practices and promote inclusion within local government and the broader community by improving civic engagement, access for refugees and immigrant communities, economic opportunity and education, mutual trust and positive relationships between the law enforcement and immigrant and refugee communities. A year ago, I added a staff person whose time is dedicated to working with and on behalf of our growing new American population. City Refugee and Community Liaison, Chelsea Eddy, has been striving through outreach, program creation, and volunteer recruitment to ensure that our new residents, many of whom have left horrific situations, can be successful and engaged members of our community. So Chelsea is going to present some details of her work, and then she'll be followed by Antoinette, who will speak briefly about her work with refugees for the state. And after Antoinette, I'll be coming back to the podium. So Chelsea?
Thank you, Mayor Becker. So as the mayor said, my name is Chelsea Eddy. I'm the Refugee Community Liaison here in the mayor's office. Salt Lake City is a refugee resettlement city. We resettle about 1,100 refugees every single year, and we are so lucky to have them here with us. And they come from all over the world. The majority of these refugees either live or are accessing services here in the capital city. So they're coming to Salt Lake City daily or weekly, monthly. Some of the largest populations that we resettle today are from Burma, Somalia, Iraq, and Bhutan. Although this is just a small sampling of the many countries that our refugees come from. In total, the Salt Lake City Valley is home to over 45,000 refugees. And these refugees go on to be students, leaders, entrepreneurs, social workers, business owners, and so much more. They contribute so much to our economy and the social fabric of our community. Our school district reflects this diversity as well. We have over 80 different languages and dialects spoken in the Salt Lake City School District, and at least 50% of those are spoken by refugee children. As a welcoming community, it is so important that we continue to provide the education and the support that refugees need to thrive here in Salt Lake City. But at the same time, we have to recognize and really value the assets that our refugee populations bring to Salt Lake City, because they make our community stronger and so much more vibrant. We currently have several programs in the mayor's office that are designed to welcome, serve, and educate our refugee and immigrant populations. So I will share two of those with you today to demonstrate how we do this in city government. The first program is our Refugee Volunteer Program, which was launched in March in partnership with the Utah State's Refugee Services Office. And this program pairs refugee families who have been in the U.S. for over 2 years with mentors from the community who volunteer to connect refugees to services and resources. And this program also facilitates friendships and relationships with the volunteers and the refugee families. Since the program's start in March, we have made over 20 refugee and volunteer pairings, and our volunteers have given over 265 hours of service, which is pretty amazing since that is since March. And for more information about that program, we have brochures on the table right here. You can also visit our website at slcgov.com/volunteer. The second program that I would like to talk about is the Human Rights Education Project. And this is an award-winning program that provides education to refugees and immigrants about their legal rights in the U.S. We collaborate with some incredible community partners who assist us in providing culturally and linguistically appropriate workshops to our refugee and immigrant communities on topics such as criminal justice, law enforcement, workers and tenant rights, and sexual and domestic violence prevention. Since the launching of the Human Rights Education Project in 2012, we've served over 4,000 refugees in 18 different languages, and we've partnered with 24 different community organizations to host 135 workshops. At these workshops, we've distributed over 2,000 incentives to the participants who attend our workshops. Every year on December 10th, we also host the Human Rights Day celebration, which is organized by the Salt Lake City Human Rights Commission. And this celebration raises funds to support the Human Rights Education Project by paying interpreters, providing assistance with transportation, and buying the incentives. So for more information about this program, and if you want to schedule a workshop, we have some pamphlets again on this table. You can also visit our website at slcgov.com/odhr/HRP. But of course, none of these programs would be possible if we didn't have the partnerships with our incredible refugee leaders. And there are several leaders standing behind me that I have worked with over the years that just do incredible work with their communities. We are so lucky to have them here working with us in Salt Lake City. But today we're going to highlight Antoinette Uwaniugira. She is the Congolese Community Resource Specialist in the Utah State Refugee Services Office. And aside from being an amazing leader, Antoinette has also hosted several Human Rights Education Project workshops with her community. And she also identifies the families from the Congolese community who would like to participate in our volunteer program. And she provides the support to the volunteers and the families to make sure that that pairing is successful. So I'll let Antoinette take it from here. Thank you.
Habari ya jioni, jina langu ni Antoinette Uwaniugira, natokea Congo. Good afternoon, my name is Antoinette Uwaniugira. I'm from the Congo DRC. I have been part of the Human Rights Education Project and attend many services and workshops. I learned many things that have helped my life and my community. Human Rights Education Project, we went through workshop with domestic violence. As you know, 90% in Congo women went through domestic violence, sexual assault, and we learned that in the United States, we cannot do that anymore. Now my community, we know where to go in the case of domestic violence and sexual assault. We have a workshop and tenants and responsibility. How to sign a lease agreement. As you know, some landlord, if you don't know how to read, you have to provide interpreter to sign what they can read, how many months, and when you break the contract, you have to pay the fees. And if you pay month by month, they charge you $100, $200 a month. And we teach our community that you don't have to break the contract, you have to pay to give down 6 days notice to vacate. We have workshop, employment and workplace. How you have to go to work, and you have to call if you are sick, and you have to quit or to leave the job. You have to put at least 2 weeks notice to change your job, and how to work hard in my community. Most of my community, if it's single mom, they are working so hard. Even they have children, some they are buying houses because of this workshop. We have also, I have been working with Utah Department of Work Services and the volunteer program through Salt Lake City. We have a dozen volunteer who is helping refugee how to teach their children the best education. Some volunteer, they are going to the park, to library, and to help them for homework and to learn from the refugee compassion and love. And they are learning more how to cook, and how to cook American food, and how to be good citizens. We have one volunteer who's helping now, one family single mom who became citizen, and how it's very important to become a citizen to be part of their community. So I want to ask to have more volunteer, because we see with the volunteer, we have a need. For example, my experience when I came to this country, I didn't have any volunteer. I see the differences between someone who doesn't have a volunteer and some who has a volunteer. So we need more volunteers to help all communities. The more we have a volunteer, they teach them about culture, they teach them how to have a good education, they teach them how to work so hard, to be responsible. They are happy to be the part of the community and to be good neighbor. Asante, thank you.
Thank you, Antoinette, and thank you for your great commitment working with the refugees in our community. Your leadership really moves our community forward. So thank you, and thank all of you who are helping us be successful in the city. Two of the main priorities identified by welcoming cities and counties are to create safe and connected communities and improve civic engagement opportunities among refugee and immigrant populations. We want to make sure that every resident has access to all areas of government, including our police and fire departments. Moving forward, we are working closely with the police and fire departments to conduct recruitment outreach into our diverse communities of color, refugees, immigrants, and women to ensure that law enforcement reflects the communities with whom they work. And I'm very pleased that both our police chief, Mike Brown, and our fire chief, Brian Dale, have joined us today, really reflecting the commitment that they are making on I should say, a completely renewed way to make Salt Lake City a place where everyone feels included and where we are the place in this country to live, work, and play for every member of our community who likes to call Salt Lake City their home. So thank you all. Thanks for this incredible work, for all of you that you're doing. Let's move forward, and let's continue to move forward in a way that reflects and improves the quality of life for our new Americans. Thank you for joining us today.